You are tuned into episode 33. Episode 33. Time moving fast. Of the Goodfellas podcast. G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And I got my main man with me, VP Shane, in the building. What's going on, bro?
As you guys say in America, what it do?
What
That's what you
it do?
guys.
Exactly. Exactly. Big shout out to the third man of the team, man. BoxingFirst Vlog. I'm pretty sure he'll be stomping in here um, with some type of technical issues in the next couple of minutes. Um, big shout out to him. Um, but we gonna get right to it. We ain't even playing around today,
No
man.
Vaseline, bro. Just
No
straight
nothing.
in.
We getting right to it. Big shout out to Brendan Jackson in the building, man. Up in this joint early. He says salute, man. Salute to you, good
Nigga, you
brother.
still ain't in the fantasy league.
Hey, Brendan, come on, bro. Hold on a second before we even get started. Hold on. Brendan, you come on. You like family, man. Come on, don't do this to us, bro. Don't do this to us. Hold on. We gonna get this thing started off right, bro. G5JeffTV.com. Click on take your pick and pick the fights this weekend, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. $500 for the winner of the league. He said, I'm going to sign up for sure. All right, $500 to the winner of the league and the championship belt.
And it's free to play.
And it's free to play. It's no excuse, bro. No excuse. He said, there are plenty of guys that I'd like to see Wilder fight. He said, I'm going to sign up for sure. So let's jump right into it. Deontay Wilder had a really, really, really good interview with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, that's Philly. Big shout out to Kevin Hart.
Yeah. I didn't get the... Okay. Sorry to cut you off, Jeff.
No, you good. You good. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
At no stage did I get the impression, did he say he was going to retire?
I'm gonna tell you why you don't believe that.
Go on.
I'm gonna quote your very famous quote. You want to quote it or you want me to quote it?
No, you can quote it.
Okay. So plenty of people have said this, but Shane, nobody says this as emphatic as Shane. Anybody that's talking about retirement is already retired. So when I heard that, right, he was pitching, he didn't say he was going to retire. He was giving the impression of if I did decide to retire, then everything that I set out to accomplish has been accomplished.
I get that. I got that impression.
Right.
And don't get me wrong. Maybe I've said it wrong. I didn't get the impression that he was that everybody's running with it like he's already announced a retirement. Mm-hmm. Wilder has said things before in the past which kind of allude to retirement before this, when he was like, he talks about what he's doing after life of boxing. I guess it's just the timing of it, I guess the timing of it's very convenient.
Why would you say the timing is convenient?
Because he has no direct fights and there's not really there's no clear direction to where he's moving. So retirement is probably very convenient
to talk about.
Yeah, it's very convenient. It's in line.
Yeah, see, I didn't think about it that way. Anybody that didn't hear the interview, I highly suggest you go.
Good interview. It was a really good interview.
And it was the reason it was so good is because you can tell Kevin Hart is not a hardcore, but he knows enough to know when he's like getting bullshitted. Like, so it was kind of the perfect combination.
Better questions than a lot of boxing guys would do.
Well, that's because I'm not surprised about that, because I'm like, if anything happens, he has no foot in the boxing game, so there's no punishment.
Yeah,
to whatever he says.
But with Wilder though, I thought the impression I got was he's in a real good place mentally. Yeah. I got the impression that he's in a real, because after the loss, I thought this guy was going to go into meltdown. I always quote Nassim Hamid and how he reacted to a loss. I thought, Wilder's going to be down that same road. But I'm more than wrong. He's in a real good place.
I think the back half of that check hit the account.
Yeah.
That back end money might have hit the account. I'd be a little excited too. You know what I'm saying? I just listening to it, he seems like a person that like you said, he's in a good space, but I'm real worried about guys that are considered killers talking like that. Maybe that's me, just maybe I'm looking a little too deep into it or whatever the case may be. So let's just say, for instance, he doesn't retire.
But you're saying, no, you go on.
Yeah. So say he doesn't retire, right? And he goes back into the ring. The fact that he's in such a good place mentally and all of that, is that going to affect the killer in him inside of the ring? Is that going to affect the in-ring product?
Well, the most obvious answer is no, it doesn't. The most obvious answer is yes, it does. But that is under the assumption that he's retiring that he's gonna retire and fight. I mean, fight immediately. We don't know. We're just talking to a dude who's been very chilled, very relaxed, and has just come off a loss. He's had to do a lot of emotional rebuilding, and he's probably had to transfer a lot of his ambitions and intentions that he had for himself away and redirect him and almost do some soul searching, self-reflection, and rebuild his character and who he wants to be moving forward. So the person that you see right now isn't the person that you saw that was going into the Fury fight. And it will be naive of both of us to believe that this person will be the same person that be going into a fight with, let's say, if he had a future fight with Andy Ruiz. He definitely does have fights out there that he can potentially have. The question is, does he want to fight at that level, sacrifice, well, how can I say it? Sacrifice what he has personally wanted to go through, like his personal ambitions. He wanted to be one champion, one face, one name. Does he want to sacrifice all of that just to fight for money? Because that doesn't sound like Wilder to me.
Yeah, I was listening to him, and don't get me wrong, he's accomplished, like he's done the impossible. Like, period. He's done the impossible. Everything that he's done in his career, he wasn't supposed to do. Like, his skill set doesn't say it. None of that says it. Like, started late, never really developed technically, like to the point to be around such a guy like Mark Breland and guys like that.
He didn't
You
even
know,
come from a fighting city.
yeah, he didn't even come from a fighting city. Like, so it was a lot of things that was against him, and for him to accomplish what he's accomplished is nothing short of amazing. Um, but when I heard him, when I heard the interview, all I could think about was Silk Sheets.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about was Silk Sheets. And I just, if he decides to get back in the ring, which he probably will, I just want to see the killer back in the ring. That's it. I don't want to see any,
A lot of people have said that while Fury has humbled that individual and that individual doesn't exist anymore. And I feel like that's highly likely.
That he's not a killer anymore?
No, that Wilder has been humbled, and Wilder is not like that anymore, the way he was before. The reason why I feel like that's highly likely is because he's probably done some soul searching and self-reflection and realized the person that after that experience, maybe he's not who he thought he was. He thought everybody was scared of him, and he was the most dominant man on the planet. He's the most feared man on the planet. To see someone just run up in there and take what you got, that's very humbling.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. That's a good point. Brendan Jackson, hasn't Wilder already come out and said he's not retiring anytime soon? I think the Kevin Hart thing might be taken out of context in terms of his next step. He, I wouldn't say taken out of context. I would say he left it open to interpretation.
Very.
He left it open to interpretation. So with us being in the business that we're in, we're gonna run with it. He said, I ain't watched all of the interview yet, so I guess I'll do that. Yeah, it's a good listen. It's definitely a good listen. Conrad Boxing in the building, man. Family in the building, man. Big shout out to Conrad Boxing. If he decides to come back into the ring, um, do you see a scenario where he actually goes through the process of getting back to championship like contention, or do you see just he fights maybe one or two money fights and he's just out the door?
Well, this is the thing. Knowing Wilder's character, Wilder's built his whole bronze bomber alias based on the fact that he wants to be the king of the division, king of the ring, one champion, one face, one name. He built it on that. So it would be difficult for him to go into a fight and him not being able to sell that angle at least. Now,
Right.
the problem is can he sell that angle if he's not fighting a Fury? You see my point? Like, because people will always still wonder, well, Fury beat you twice. Fury beat you twice. And no matter how he looks at it, he's going to be like, until I right that wrong, which I'll never be able to right again, I will never be that individual. So then he might have to do self-reflection and look at it, okay, maybe it's not about one champion, one face, one name, and fighting for money fights and trying to do as much as I can while I can. I'll give you an example. When Pacquiao lost to Mayweather, Pacquiao's career continued. He ended up picking up good wins after that as well. AB, Furman. So if his fan base and him personally looked at it like, okay, I'm the best, and a lot of his fan base thought he was the best and stuff like that, and that whole Mayweather Pacquiao saga, if someone like come off a defeat and deal with that, then I'm pretty sure someone like Wilder can. But the problem is Pacquiao's lost numerous times. When you look at guys like Golovkin, when you look at guys like Kovalev, who had this alias about them, I'm talking about more, like recent times, they had this real stigma attached to them, and then they lost in controversial fights. Like Golovkin lost controversially to Canelo, Kovalev lost controversially to Ward. It's like their career doesn't move until their career revolves around that individual they lost to. And Golovkin's almost irrelevant if his name's not brought up with Canelo. You see my point? And Wilder's in a situation where Golovkin is in right now, where Golovkin is a top dude, just like Wilder is, but people are asking him to go in there with live dogs. And in fights where he potentially could be an underdog, or it'll be low money but high reward. Like they're asking him to fight Andrade and Charlo and stuff like that. It's like the same thing. Wilder might be fighting dudes like Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, Philip Hergovich.
Yeah.
If I'm Wilder, I don't take those fights because they don't bring nothing to the table for me. But then if I'm Wilder, you can fight Ruiz. That might bring a bit of money. You can fight the likes of a Hellenius, but where do those wins take you? That's my problem. I don't really see where those wins take you. That's the problem that I'm having. I can't see where Wilder, this is a new chapter, this is where I'm trying to go. That's my problem. That's why I don't know what Wilder does.
Yeah, good points. My man L Dub, the plug in the building, man. Big shout out to you, bro. Said I think we get Wilder on Juneteenth in Atlanta. Then he might ride out into the sunset. You know what? I wasn't even thinking that, bro. Like that'd be ideal.
It'd be interesting to see who he fights.
Yeah, it'd be L Dub. Who do you think he will fight under those circumstances? Conrad Boxing. Do you think there's money in a Trevor Bryant fight? Don King looks for a cash out for that belt. I don't think so, but what you think, Shay?
Apparently, Trevor Bryant's fighting Manuel Charr anyway, so that fight's not gonna happen. But I don't really see the point because again, what is Wilder trying to model himself in? You got like, okay, let's say he fights Juneteenth, like L Dub just said. He fights Juneteenth. That's off the back of Fury White, AJ Usyk. Whoever he fights, is not gonna come remotely close to. I mean, he just brought up Charles Martin and Ortiz. If Charles Martin beats Ortiz, I can see that potentially. But even in that case, like, there's a sense of direction. If Usyk beats AJ and Fury beats White, straight away you can see that's undisputed. Like, where's Wilder's direction? In fact, that's a question for you, L-Dub. What would be Wilder's motivation moving forward? What would be his reason for continuing fighting? Because he doesn't strike me as a dude who fights just for money. If that was the case, he would have taken 110 million from the zone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that interview left it open to interpretation. So I feel like that's why we having this discussion. Second, Ezra in the building, man. He said, Jeff, what up? Shane was good, mate. Shout out to you, bro. He said, L-Dub said, Conrad, no, that belt is cursed and they are trying to consolidate it. Plus, Dubois, Hellenius, and Hunter all won WBA title eliminators. Fair enough. Jerry Forrest, that's Blunt's guy.
Bro, the reason why that belt is cursed, I remember it was supposed to be Shannon Briggs versus what was that dude's name? Oh, what's that dude's name? Aquendo? I forgot that.
Frezzo Kendo. Frezzo Kendo. Yes.
Yeah. Them two were supposed to fight for the belt. Then it was a Kendo versus Char. Then it was Char versus Bryan. All of those fights have been cancelled. Yeah. Every single one of those fights have been cancelled. Someone has put a hex on that belt. Trust me.
I think anything with Don King name on it getting canceled. If he wins a purse bid, it's getting canceled. If he's setting up a fight, it's getting canceled.
Maybe for all of his bad ways, his wicked ways that he's done in the past.
It's coming back.
He's coming back to it.
It's coming back because he's like a non-factor, like, at all. Like,
facts.
He said, or maybe Charles Martin if he beats Ortiz. We agree with that.
I can see that.
I can see that. I like the Martin option over Ruiz. I actually like the Martin option over Ruiz, to be honest with you.
I think this is gonna be crazy. I actually think Martin beats Ortiz.
I think he can. He gotta quicken the pace though. He can't fight that slow old man pace with Ortiz.
Yeah. Now he's gonna have to run up in there and do it.
He wanted to run up on him. He wanted to run up on him, something serious. Yeah, but it's an interesting conversation to have in regards to Wilder because you're asking someone to reinvent themselves. That is very, very difficult to do. And I don't care if it's an athlete. I don't care what the situation is. You're asking someone to take who they known themselves to be and to reinvent themselves. That's like, telling L-Dub to him to stop doing what he's doing and just be on some TMZ shit. It's impossible. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like asking me to go a whole different route outside of G5FTV. I'm like, I can't do it. Like, it's very, very difficult. Like, very few people are able to actually reinvent themselves in a positive way, and they're comfortable with it. So it's more so of a mental battle and an emotional battle outside of actually taking care of the task at hand. And that's what we're pretty much asking Wilder to do in a sense. You want to read that, Shane?
Yeah, the only reason why Wilder fights is for the people. We never had a boxing event for us. Wilder can do that and ride up. I respect that, but this is my problem. Yeah, Wilder doesn't seem like a dude who's gonna suffer from that James Toney, Bernard Hopkins disease where they just don't know when to call it a day. Wilder doesn't seem like he's that individual. He's not gonna retire. Let the sport retire him. So that's one thing I do know. Wilder is also a person who's invested a lot of his time into what he's going to do after the sport. So that's another thing that I feel like I got to give him credit for and respect him for that.
Yeah, I think he will be a good announcer too.
But where I'm struggling is the fact that Wilder has always been a dude who's just been driven by this persona of legacy. Forget what he is in his personal life. I'm talking about in the public eye, the words that he says is always down a certain line. I don't know how he sells a fight to us anymore. I don't know how he's gonna sell. Like Jeff, if you put yourself in Wilder's shoes, how does Wilder sell this fight to us, knowing that he's no longer that face it one champion, one face, one name? Because it's a tough sell.
If we're talking about, and vlog, we're gonna get you in a minute, but I gotta do a sound check with your ass. If we paint a picture like what Dub suggested, which is in Atlanta, Juneteenth, they could pitch it in the sense of this could be the last time you see Wilder in the ring. And if that's the pitch, then it's gonna sell. Outside of that, I don't see it really selling like that. I don't see how they pitch it. You know what I'm saying? Like how they pitch it. I think the people that's riding with Wilder, they're gonna buy whether it's they're gonna buy.
No, I don't mean in terms of a buy, but in terms of like his public persona has taken a massive dent.
Well, I think his public persona might have taken a dent, but I think his popularity hasn't.
No, not his popularity. I just mean because yeah, I've never seen a fighter at such a high level where he is, and how vocal he was, and how ambitious he was, have to almost after a loss admit defeat and rethink their plans. Can you give me a fighter that's anywhere near that's done that? Maybe you guys could have, but I can't think of one.
Someone that's taken a significant loss and kind of just reinvented themselves, basically.
Yeah, in terms of their character, not in terms of how they fight, in terms of their character. Someone that big, someone that vocal, someone that boisterous.
They usually don't come back from that. And if they do come back from it, they come back from it when nobody's really watching.
Or they come back fighting for money, just fighting for money. And Wilder's not that dude.
Yeah,
so
I think Wilder.
Yeah,
I think Wilder still beats 90% of the heavyweights out here, and I think that's the one thing he has to lean on. If I had to bet my money on Wilder against 90% of the heavyweight division, I'm taking Wilder.
But you know the problem, Jeff? Wilder knows he can't beat that 1%. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. But
he's not Sean Porter. He's not a Sean Porter who can continue fighting at a level knowing that he's not going to be the best. Wilder wants to be the best.
Well, the thing is, let me paint this picture for you. If Wilder comes in Juneteenth, right? He comes in Juneteenth. He fights, I don't know, whoever. Wipes them out. 3 rounds, 4 rounds. I can see a scenario where it'll make sense for Wilder if Dillian White beats Fury.
That's a very good point. That is a very, very, very good point.
So you need to think so Wilder, he needs at least one win under his belt. He needs one fight where the numbers look good.
And he needs a Fury out the picture.
And he needs Fury out the picture. And then if it's Dillian White, then ultimately that fight is going to sell itself. Dillian White would probably come to Vegas for that. And that fight would be mega here. Mega. Because Dillian White he's going to entertain him just as much as he wants. And that's a scenario where Wilder can actually reclaim that spot. He needs Fury to lose though. He needs Fury to lose. He needs for him to lose, and he needs for him to lose to Dillian White. Even if Fury lost to Usyk, it's still not a good look for Wilder.
Nah.
He needs for Fury to lose to Dillian White. That's what he needs. If he gets that, there's a chance he can get that belt. He can get them straps. He can get the straps back.
Yeah, and also there's a chance that he can resell that one champion, one face, one name.
Yeah, and so he has to see the situation out until Fury fights again. he has to stay
Or maybe
somewhat
he just
active
takes it
until
on
then.
a fight by fight basis.
Well, that's what I mean. Just take it on a fight by, but he got to handle business first. As long as he handles business, and then just wait for Fury and Dillian White. Like if Dillian
I
White
think
wins
that's
that fight, then
after him anyway.
it's after. Right, it'll be after. But if Dillian White wins that fight, he's right back in business because the thing is, Dillian White's not going to want to fight anybody else but him.
Nah, Dylan White will want AJ if AJ beats Usyk.
But that ain't happening though, and you know that. My man, Boxing First Vlog in the building, man. Can I get a mic check 1 2 1 2 from you?
Yeah, after these aeroplanes stop flying over my head, mic check 1 2 1 2.
Cool. Jeff, hit these comments quick and then get back to Blunt.
Hold on.
Hi to everybody and shit and everything first. Goddamn, they ain't more important than me. The show is about me. No, I'm just playing. What's up,
Nigga, you got a
everybody?
voice of a sixth grader when you just spoke there, bro.
Yeah, get your stuff together, bro.
Bro, you need it. It sounds like he ain't had to hit puberty yet, bro.
Bruce goes in the building, man. Says salute, brothers. Big shout out to you, bro. L Dub, this hurt me to say this as a Wilder guy, but I think the legacy was beaten out of him.
No, I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that neither. Sasaraki, what's going on?
He was here last live.
Yeah. Joshua Wilder would be big. Joshua Wilder. I think it'll still be a big fight. Mr. 100 Rounds, he said, love, respect to all. What's going on?
If AJ loses to Usyk, I mean, I don't know how much money fights he's got, and plus he signed a lifetime deal with
Eddie Hearn.
Eddie. Yeah, so Eddie needs to make some of that money back.
Right. Sasaraki, White would get folded by Wilder. That's what I'm saying. Some people think he'll fold him, so that'll put him right in the mix.
I mean, if let's say in this hypothetical scenario that Jeff brought up, that White beat Wilder, White beat Fury, I don't know if many people would be picking. I think it might be 50-50 or maybe 60-40 in White's favor. If White beat Fury, I think a lot of people will be picking White, to beat Wilder.
That's in the UK. Here, though, you're not going to find a person in the United States.
No, I'm just saying if White beat Wilder. I'm just saying if White beat Fury. Because that means people's outlook on White, I'm assuming, would have to change, no?
Yeah. I agree with that. I'm going to get these last two, and then I'm going to get Vlog up in here. He said Wilder versus Forrest makes sense for his return fight. That's Vlog's guy, Jerry Forrest. Pan Man McGriff in the building. He said, "What up, fam? Hope you guys are having a great day and a great show. Much love and respect for you guys always. Appreciate you, good brother. I did get your message too, and I got it late, bro. I know you was trying to get Sharif on, but I'm gonna holler at you about that off camera. Burt Wood in the building. Onito Donaire versus
that's on the site, bro.
Yeah, that's on the site, man. Go to the site and predict that and say who wins between Donaire and Cavalli.
I ain't giving you no clues, bro.
I ain't giving you no clues, bro, man. Vlog, what you think about this whole Wilder situation? You think he's going to retire, not retire? What you thinking?
I mean, well, we brought it up off and on. That silk sheet, sort of satin draws, velvet robe sort of lifestyle. Get comfortable. You feel like you might not be able to make it just over the mountaintop, but you've been up there and you done breathed the thin air, so you know what it is. I mean, it's a 50-50 for me, man. I mean, I like L-Dub's scenario. I tap in with him real early in the game, so I've been up on that all day. I just didn't really chime in across the message board with him, but I think that's a 50-50 thing. And again, he doesn't seem to be stupid with his money. He doesn't seem to be like extra flossy, so I'm sure he's pretty smart with his money. I mean, it's a 50-50 thing, man. I mean, I know he loves his fans, though, because, to this day, you know how it is. So, I mean, I respect the decision one way or another. Let's just keep it solid like that. But I'm on the fence with it when it comes to really whether he's coming back or not.
can I ask you both a question? Yeah. And I have to ask you, if Wilder retires today, where does Wilder rank in history for boxing heavyweight champions?
I listen. I gotta let my man Vlog go first. I have to let him go first.
You would strictly have to put him in the punches category. Ernie Shavers, the Nortons, those sort of dudes that just known to be bangers. Obviously, we talking George Foreman, these type of guys. I think you just got to put him in the punches category. You can't
No, but I
really.
mean in terms of like ranking, like if you were to rank, like obviously most people have Ali at the top. So
That's
where would
what
you
I'm
rank
saying.
him?
It's for me, man, on a legendary scale. It's hard to not include him, but again, it's hard to. It's sort of easy to disclude him because again, he didn't ever show us the other side of boxing, and we
Blunt,
know boxing
is
is
he a Hall of Famer?
what is, huh?
Is he a Hall of
Is he
Famer?
also hard to say right now, bro? I'm being honest, bro, and I feel the same way about him coming back. It's just hard to say. For Hall of Fame, it's hard to say right now because if you, like I said, you look at him from a punches category, yes. But if you look at him as an overall world champion, world dominator, kind of no. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say.
Jeff, your turn.
My answer, I'm just gonna come out and say it. You know how Tyson, his movement is felt throughout multi generations, multi eras.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Wilder's legacy will be truly felt like beyond this era. I think if you wasn't in this era or you were really into boxing during this era, I don't know if you'll fully
You respect
understand
it.
his
Yeah, yeah.
impact, that he's had on the sport if you weren't in this era. With that being said, um, are there guys that are in the Hall of Fame? I'm talking about from a heavyweight standpoint that's accomplished less than Wilder. Technically, yes. Um, I think when you look at it from the sense of what he's accomplished with what has been presented to him, in terms of just before he got into boxing, nothing. Shane, we talked about this a little earlier. Nothing about Wilder says that he should have been a champion. He should have been an Olympian. He should have been halfway decent. Like he might be one of the biggest overachievers in the history of boxing. He's one of the biggest overachievers in the history of boxing. And would I say he's a Hall of Famer? I'm gonna say no.
All
Um,
right, to me, you contradict yourself because if you're telling me he's an overachiever, then and overachieving means he captured the heavyweight title, then that sounds like Hall of Fame talk to me. Just based on what you just said.
No, no.
Hold on, hey,
I
Shane.
think
I
he
got
got.
this, Shane. I got this, Shane. I got it. I got it. That's why I wanted him to go first because I knew he was gonna say something crazy like that. I knew he was gonna say something crazy like that. So you said capturing the heavyweight title, right? That's what he said, Shane. Capturing
Yeah.
the heavyweight title. Somebody else just captured a heavyweight title. You just sat up here and told us there's no way in hell he's a Hall of Famer. You walking into a ditch. I ain't even put one down, bro. When you walking in the ditch.
I did kind of preference it. No, bro.
Go ahead.
I preference that, bro,
Okay.
because you said he's an overachiever. Correct. If you said Usyk is an overachiever, I could say you're correct. But you guys never said Usyk is overachiever. You're just somebody. You just said somebody that has achieved cruiserweight heavy supremacy.
No. I get you, Blunt. No, I get you, Blunt. Let me tell you why I feel like you kind of misconstrued what Jeff was talking about. When he said overachiever, he wasn't saying it in comparison to heavyweights of the past.
Yeah.
He was saying it relative to the skill set that Wilder has, and he was given. He wasn't blessed with anything other than power. So he wasn't supposed to be at 21 years old. There's no way, and he just started boxing. There's no way he should have had 9 title defenses, world heavyweight champion, bronze medalist. You shouldn't achieve that. If you start boxing at 21, you shouldn't achieve that.
See, I can shoot you down right now too. So when you start saying all of those kind of outside of your norm accomplishments for getting into boxing. You talking about Bernard Hopkins, so you gonna say Bernard Hopkins is in the Hall of Famer? We could go.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer.
That's my point. But
he's not a Hall of Famer based on overachieving. He's a Hall of Famer based on accomplishments. There's a difference.
What? So you telling me a dude that was not per se a prime boxer, raised to be a boxer, come from this amateur mode, hasn't overachieved in boxing and done great things in Bernard Hopkins?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said
okay, bro, that's what you're saying. If you say
no, I didn't say that.
No, let me finish. Basically, when you said what you just said, you're basically saying those outside of the norm things that he's done isn't worthy of Hall of Fame shit. But we have other Hall of Famers go the same opposite normal route but you're still not understanding my point, bro. I said Bernard Hopkins is I'm not saying he's not an overachiever. I'm saying his accomplishments is the reason why he's in the Hall of Fame. Not because he overachieved, his accomplishments is. Whilst he did overachieve, he accomplished a hell of a lot of stuff that said, you know what, you're worthy to be in the Hall of Fame. Stuff that Wilder wasn't able to accomplish. Even with that being said, when you look at the attributes that Wilder has, he has also overachieved like Hopkins. Unfortunately, he did not achieve what Hopkins achieved. That is my point. And it's very simple.
It's different types of overachieving too. So when you mention B-Hop, right? When you mention B-Hop, listen to me. When you mention B-Hop, he overachieved because of his circumstances. Vlog, you know that. You from the city, so don't even give me that look. You from the city. You know what he went through. A dude coming out of jail and all that other stuff for him to accomplish what he accomplished. That's what I meant by overachieving. If you want to look at it from a boxing standpoint, Bernard Hopkins was talented. Very talented. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
before you finish, one question before you finish: is power not a talent?
It's a God gift. But what does it have to do with Hopkins, though?
It's got to do with Wilder.
What does that have to do with Hopkins?
It's the same argument, bro. Y'all are basically saying a dude that he's not a Hall of Famer, and y'all giving me reasons on why he's not a Hall of Famer, but the same reasons you giving me are the same reasons that made Bernard Hopkins a Hall of Famer.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
I never even finished my statement. I never finished my statement, bro. I never finished it.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish.
Both
bro, I can't win with you two anyway, so I'm gonna let you finish your spill.
No, but anyway. you keep misconstruing what I'm saying. You keep thinking that the same things that make Bernard Hopkins a Hall of Famer applies to Wilder when it doesn't. Because Hopkins was a unified champion, which Wilder never done. Off the strength of that alone.
Shane, I never said he accomplished the same level of stuff. He went the same unnatural route to become accomplished in his own way. That is
but he accomplished more. So that's why he's a Hall of Famer. He accomplished more. That's why he's a Hall of Famer.
Hold up. So basically, did not Bernard Hopkins go an unnatural route to become a Hall of Famer?
Fact.
So his route is not part of what made him a Hall of Famer?
No.
So Deontay Wilder's route.
No, it didn't. It's not about route. It's about accomplishment.
You are tripping. Man, you cannot say a boxer's whole life is not analyzed when they talk Hall of Fame.
It's about what you achieve, bro. It's about achievement. That's all it's about. All it's about is achievement.
Yes, bro. You talking about human beings. You telling me human beings just act like computers and go off numbers.
No, it's a part of the equation.
Stop it, young buck. You live long enough to sit here and tell somebody that knows another human being is going to go off his knowledge.
The reason why I say that is because Danny Jacobs isn't a Hall of Famer. He had cancer and won a world title, bro. He's not a Hall of Famer. So I don't really care about all of that roundabout stuff. He went on. He had an unnatural route.
This is my point. This is where your youth is showing up, young buck. Where you're not telling me that people that vote for Hall of Fame aspects aren't taking in consideration analyzing the boxer's whole entity. You thinking that they just sitting there saying, well, you were 75% active in the ring. You were 28% body shot accuracy and all of these different anatomical numbers. That's what you're sounding like.
That's not accomplishments, though. Accomplishment is what you want. So you're telling me if you don't win a world title,
like I said, bro, I said, when it comes to certain things, your level of understanding will never be. We'll never be on the same wavelength. I get what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying when I brought up Bernard Hopkins and you went to all these achievements. I get that, but at the same time, we talking about a 9-time defending heavyweight champ coming out of nowhere with a power knockout ratio unheard of in the heavyweight division until you go back to the throwbacks of Mike Tyson's, the Ernie Shavers, those type of dudes. So that's why I said historically you would have to look at it from a power aspect if you was to look at him in the Hall of Fame perspective. That being said, Shane, I can't win with you, and it's all good, but I'm glad to be Mr. Controversial on this particular.
Is Ernie Shavers a Hall of Famer?
Ernie Shavers is a Hall of Famer, and it's based on his power.
So
it's not based on his accomplishments.
Ernie Shavers was enrolled in the Hall of Fame.
If he's not, he should be here in the near future.
Bro,
I would have to double check and look that up. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna double check and look that up. But I'm telling you, he's equivalent to those known historical type of fighters when it comes to.
I agree. If Ernie Shavers is in the Hall of Fame, then Wilder should be in the Hall of Fame. But based on what I deem as a Hall of Fame fighter, Wilder's not a Hall of Fame fighter because he didn't accomplish enough.
Again, you're not looking at the totality of a person's entire grasp, the entire sphere of a fighter.
Honestly, that means nothing to me.
Young about, let me finish. In some fighters, you may have to do. In some fighters, it may not matter. Like you said with Danny Jacobs. You're right. That outside of the ring accomplishment may not totally matter when you equal that or add that to what he may be done inside the ring. So I give you arguments like that. But when we talking Deontay Wilder, that's a different level than a Danny Jacobs. That's all I'm saying, young buck. Jeff, I'm sorry. I did not mean to cut you off, but you know how me and Shane get, and I apologize.
No, this is actually very healthy because the truth is he's actually giving me an opinion, and this is a very subjective topic. You can be on either side of the fence. Yesterday he was just talking straight off the fence. I don't know what he was talking, but today
I was in a debate where you can necessarily not per se believe in an argument, but you can still argue the point. That's the position.
No, I get you, Jeff.
Let the guru speak, man. Let the guru speak.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm on mute.
As far as the B-Hop situation, part of B-Hop legacy was built on his struggles before he got into before he got into his, stardom as a boxer. So you can't mention B-Hop without mentioning his past and things like that. That's just a part of his fabric. So with that being said, if you're a Hall of Fame voter and you're like, hey, is B-Hop a Hall of Famer? Does that come into the equation in terms of your thought process? Yeah, because it basically says like you're trying to, this is a guy that's overcome a lot. At the same time, B-Hop got bodies on his resume. He got bodies on his resume, and I mean big bodies on his resume. So yes, his background is a part of his story, but ultimately, what he did inside of the ring, what he accomplished inside of the ring, is ultimately what got him in. When I think of B-Hop, I'm thinking he's one of the best middleweights of all time. And that's outside of his background. That's outside of his. I can put B-Hop in the ring with anybody, any middleweight in middleweight history, and I think he got a shot.
It's one of them ones, Jeff, where you say,
all right, Shane, before you go, let me just say this, Shane, because you've been on here running your mouth anyway. So when you say that about B-Hop, can you not say the same thing about Deontay?
I can't.
The run that he was under.
I can't.
The knockout ratio, that the KO ratio that he was under historically,
I can't.
Is not valid.
I can't. I'm not saying that it's not valid. I'm not saying that it's not valid. I said I can put B Hop in the ring with any middleweight in history, and I think he has a chance. I can't say that about Wilder.
That's untrue, bro, because that power a puncher always has a fucking fighter's chance, as we always say in boxing. So
I'm not comfortable with that.
I'm
not comfortable with it. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
I
can't. I don't see.
I don't to be the writer to have to vote Deontay Wilder in. That's all I got to say. And you're an accredited writer, and you're very good at the craft. So is Shane. But in this particular situation, I have to adamantly disagree with both of y'all.
So you would feel comfortable putting Wilder up against any heavyweight in history? That's basically what you're telling me.
On a puncher's chance, yes.
But that can go for any puncher in history. There's a lot of punchers that I wouldn't put, of them in against other guys. Just because you have a puncher's chance don't mean I'll put you in the ring with them.
Okay, well, but if you talking mano percentage wise, then a puncher always has a chance. So
yeah, but that chance might be 5%. That chance might be 5%.
Man, what heavyweight is that dominant over another person that's A+? Deontay Wilder's not an A-level fighter, not an A-level heavyweight.
He's not the best heavyweight right now. Not historically.
I'm glad we got that on wax. I'm glad we got that on wax. I'll attack that at a later date.
Bro, there's no
so
way
you think historically Wilder's an A-level fighter? I can name 10 fighters that's better than Wilder in history. Yeah, and including now.
Yeah, there's no way he's an A-level fighter heavyweight.
Okay.
He got A-level power. He got A-level power. I give him that.
Okay.
He's the hardest I've ever seen in my life.
Remember y'all saying this, and then we can, as we grow and we get to the next level and all of that, we could double back to this particular live, and I could be like, I was on the other side, and I can't support that. I disagree with.
Vlog.
Bro.
Vlog. If he is who you say he is, he beats Fury.
He did beat Fury. What are you talking about?
He didn't beat Fury. He didn't beat Fury.
All right, bro.
He don't have a win on this.
Okay, hold up. So hold up. Then right now, we can say historically Canelo's not a cheater because it's basically something that's not on his record.
That is on his record, bro. It's on his record.
Yeah,
it's on his record.
You talk to all of these casuals and all of these mainstream dudes.
That's not facts though.
That's not us. That's not us. That's not us, bro.
So everything that I brought up about Deontay was all facts. I never used a hypothetical. I used all facts to try to knock down everything y'all said about him not being a heavyweight potential Hall of Famer.
I've never personally, Jeff. Yeah, I just want to say this. In my opinion, I've never seen a person be considered a Hall of Fame. By my standards of Hall of Fame, you have to beat an A-level fighter, and he's never beaten an A-level fighter.
Who's the top heavyweight of this era?
Bro, that's almost disrespectful to Ortiz, bro, when you say he hasn't beaten an A-level fighter.
Oh,
Vlog.
Bro, that's disrespectful.
Come on, bro.
That's
disrespectful. Who is Ortiz beat? Hold on, Shane.
Bro, we talk. All right. Okay, so that's like saying, hold up. You saying who is Ortiz beat?
Right.
Who has Raymar Gabalayo beat to get this world title shot? We can say the same.
You ducking the question, bro. You ducking the question. I said, who did Ortiz beat? You ducking the question. Who was he beat? You ducking the question.
Does not have nothing to do with his
exactly.
Huh? It ain't had nothing to do with his skills. His skills are still A-level.
You said A-level.
His skills are still A-level.
He A-level what right now? You talking about the other heavyweights right now?
We talking.
He's always been older.
Bro, Jeff, this I'm saying one. Jeff, this I'm saying one rule for one.
Really start seeing I can't win with you dudes.
Bro,
you dudes often bring me around. And when I listen to you guys and whoop-de-whoop, and I'll learn even as an OG, but I'm trying to spit good, solid facts to you dudes, and I can't get either one of y'all to just kind of peek around the corner and just look a little bit and kind of listen and see what.
You got one rule for one and another rule for another, because you're giving him he's A-level because he got skills, but before Usyk beat AJ, he wasn't A-level. even though he's got more
I
skills
never
than all
said
three.
that, bro.
You
My
were
thing,
saying that,
that's
bro.
where you
You
get
were saying that he
confused.
would lose to Jerry Forrest. You were saying he would lose to Jerry Forrest.
He probably
Hey, bro,
will.
you did say that, yo. You did say that.
Bro, that's just that.
You did
Okay,
say that.
let me bring that argument to full circle.
Okay.
Usyk is not the bag. Usyk is not the show. Nobody's rushing home Friday, Saturday night to catch this Usyk fight.
Right.
That's my main argument with Usyk, and that's bringing it full circle, putting the cap on it. Again, like I just stated earlier, I learned from you guys. I listened to you guys. I just came around debating with you guys on this Usyk situation. So that's me just being honest with our folks that tap in with us. Yeah, it's about the bag. It's about the showmanship. It's about the what it is with boxing. It's entertainment. I just don't think it's very entertaining as a fighter, as an out of the ring personality, and it's not his background, because there's a lot of Eastern European fighters that I think have nice showmanship and can be the future in the face of boxing. You understand what I'm talking about? But I just don't see it in Usyk currently. Not to say he can't learn it, can't pick it up. Obviously, Gary wants to pick it up because he did a great job when it was time to come in front of the camera and whoop-de-whoop. So hopefully Usyk can. But until that point, I'm just holding that against him. And y'all got me. Y'all bought me around the Usyk.
I got a question for you,
I just put him in my pure boxer list. I just put him pure boxer, born with it. And I tapped in, and I hope everybody tapping into the channel. We doing good work over there. Anyway, do what it do, Jeff.
I got a question for you, Blunt, and Jeff, by that mark. So we established where we were talking about Hall of Fame. Now, when we rank Wilder's career, what do we rank his career out of 10 in terms of, like, based on what he was achieved, based on what he achieved, based on his expectation, based on skill set, based on the landscape of the heavyweight division. Obviously, he came around in the Vitaly Vladimir era, then ended up stretching over to the Fury AJ era.
Right.
Where does he rank?
Out of 10?
Like, in terms of, where would you rank it? All right, cool. So, for example, I'll give you an example. You look at Sean Porter and you kind of look at him. He's a solid 7.5. How would you rank Wilder?
I gotta let Vlog go because I think he want to talk about that Sean Porter point. I actually want to hear it. I want to hear it as well.
I want to hear it as well.
Again, young buck. I try to tiptoe with you when I hear the disrespectful things come out your voice, and I don't want to be brash with you because you're a young man, you're still learning. But that 7.5 was real disrespectful when you talking Sean Porter.
Can I tell you why though? And you're gonna agree. You're gonna change your mind after one thing. Sean Porter was a very highly touted amateur, and he did not achieve. Even though he fought a lot of people, he didn't accomplish what was expected of him to accomplish when he first turned pro. And he took on brilliant fights, but he lost a majority of his A-level fights. So when you look at it like that, he didn't reach the peak that he was supposed to reach.
Okay. I mean, I doubt that he was touted when he was.
No, he was.
Hold up. When he was a tri-sport athlete, so it's kind of hard to be heavily touted in one sport when that particular sport that oversees it and the people that scout it, they see you doing something else. They're gonna take a step back from you. So not to say you're not on the radar. So I got to disagree with the highly touted amateur route that you spoke of when you say Sean Porter.
He beat Usyk. He was an Olympic gold medalist in the amateurs.
He beat Danny.
But
he beat Jacobs, didn't he? Danny Jacobs.
Danny Jacobs.
I would say out of the.
Hold up, bro. But did not Deontay Wilder go to the Olympics? But did he have a natural route towards the Olympics? No. So you're saying he was highly touted too?
No, but it's different because the welterweight landscape in America is high. You know that, bro. the heavyweight landscape in England, in America isn't that high. Let's keep it real. And Wilder didn't even fight at super heavyweight. He fought at heavyweight.
Okay, well, back to your 7.5, and the reason why I disagree with it, I just think it's low, bro.
What number would you
Because
give it?
again, you want to go unaccomplished things, and you start taking numbers away, and I get that. So I'm around 8.5. I think it's just a little higher than what Shane said, because like you said, he's had the major clashes, and just a little bit came out on the backside. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, bro, I just think, a little low on that. A little low on that. You know what I mean? But that was it. You know what I mean? I just disagree with that part. But do your thing, Jeff.
I'm kind of in between both of y'all. I would give him an 8. I would give him an 8. Because it's part now, as far as him coming out of the Olympics, just him being an amateur, I would say probably in his weight class. Well, out of that class, period, I would say he was top 5 in that class, and I'm well aware of that, because that was I've had many conversations with Cruz, because he was around them at that time, but he was highly regarded. I'll put it to you like that. Now, in terms of his ceiling, in terms of what he was supposed to do professionally, nobody really knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody really knew that, but he was a top 5 type guy in that
if you look at
class.
someone like Gary Russell, for example, like
Gary Russell was higher than Sean coming out of that class. He was rated higher. He was projected to do more in his career than Sean. Coming out of the Olympics. Sean to me is a similar story. I think he's overachieved. I think
but where would you rank Wilder out of 10?
Out of 10? Damn, that's tough, man. I'm gonna say a 7.5, only for this reason. I felt like, and I feel like part of this is Heyman's fault. And I'm gonna come out and say it. I think part of this is Heyman's fault. I think Wilder went a good 2-3 year stretch, and I'm talking before the Stavern fight when he got the title. I felt like Wilder should have been put in a lot tougher a couple years ago prior to that, because I felt like he was ready for it. And Wilder went a long time fighting guys that they're just, I mean, to be honest with you,
I actually strongly disagree with you.
Why?
I think Wilder should be like a 9.
Well, you can't say a 9 and he's not a Hall of Famer then.
No, I'm basing
your number doesn't match that.
Relative
Thank you,
to
Jeff.
who he was.
Can I give you a realistic number?
I was going to explain why I said 9.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Shane. Go ahead.
Relative to who he was. You're forgetting this dude came out when you had 2 brothers who were gold medalists, and they ran a division for 10 years. Then another dude who was another gold medalist in Povetkin, another dude who was a gold medalist in AJ, winning so much. He had no experience whatsoever. He managed to whittle his way through all of that and become one of the top dogs in a division that was infested with talent. That is impressive to me. And then put on a knockout ratio that he had, he wasn't supposed to do that. Now, that's relative to who he is. That based on what he has accomplished. Now, the reason why I say, because Blunt was saying, why does that not make him a Hall of Famer? Because personally, I don't take into consideration people's background when I give them Hall of Fame. That's what I was saying earlier. As in, I don't take into consideration people's background. It's purely based on accomplishments. But when you look at his career, he has definitely done, by me saying 9 out of 10, there's not much more that Wilder could have done to rank higher than where he ranked. I think he almost peaked. I don't feel like he fell short. I felt like he probably almost peaked. Like, by you saying 7.5 meant that there was much more left for him to go for him to peak, and I don't think there was. I think what you saw Wilder accomplish, there was there wasn't much more that he could.
Can I chime in now?
Go ahead.
You said Jeff, you said 7.5. Shane, you said 9. I'm gonna go 8.5. 5 points of that being pure his power. The other 2, I would say 2.5, 3. It would be because of what he went through, the accomplishment of making it to the Olympic team, things of that nature. So 8.5. You're taking points away because of poor management, what Jeff alluded to, and just a lot of stagnicity in his career. You know what I'm saying? He went on a little run where we got to see him 2-3 times a year, and then he went back to this one fight a year situation with Fury. You know what I'm saying? And when I say Hall of Fame, or speaking earlier, there's another point to my Hall of Fame. It is just even accomplishing the trilogy with Fury. You know what I'm saying? We're not seeing modern day trilogies like that. So again, that's owed to him being able to get in there 3 different times with such a mammoth of a dude. You know, everybody know he walking around at 380. Probably came into that fight like 360, 370 easy. You know what I'm saying? He had some stones in his pocket. You know how Fury do, man. He just did it a different way, bro. And I just still, Mr. Shenanigans, he gonna always be that. But I give Wilder 8.5 based on his career.
Yeah,
and it still gives him opportunity to make the Hall of Fame if you look at that 8.5.
I don't know what Padman talking about there. Said Wilder would destroy White. A lot of people think so. Miles Williams, big shout out to you, bro. He said Wilder beats AJ and White. Hope he don't retire though. A lot of people still riding with him. Yeah, a lot of people still riding with him.
Some people, I feel like some people need to take into consideration how old Wilder is as well. And the same thing you said, Jeff, with Fury, it applies to Wilder as well. A lot of that fight, that fight took a lot out of Fury, and I'm assuming it took a lot out of Wilder as well. You know, that put a lot of miles on the clock though, that trilogy. So a lot of people, and I still would make him favorite over White and AJ, but I wouldn't be surprised if he lost those fights. I would not be surprised at all.
I didn't get to chime in on the White fight. That's 50-50 because Dillian can box and he can pull off a AJ Ruiz type of bout with Deontay just steadily missing that right hand and things like that. So that's a 50-50 fight to me. And, you know, that was it. That's all I want to say.
How do you see that fight, Jeff?
Who, Wilder and White?
Yeah, percentage wise.
I think I gotta go with Vlog on this one. I think I will go 50-50. Simply because while, like you said, anybody that's going through a trilogy, they're not the same afterwards. And that's just throughout boxing history. It don't matter what division. You could pick a trilogy, pick one, and they not the same. You know what I mean? Even though White has been in some wars, he ain't been through them type of wars. Like that's a whole different type of war. So I gotta ride with my man Vlog on this one and say that's a 50-50 fight, man. And it really, but the thing is, White would determine whether he wins that fight or not. He can fight stupid. He can get up out of there within the first 4 rounds. But if we seen White on top of his game, I'm talking like Povetkin on top of his game before that shot happened, Wilder in for a long night. He in for a real long night. That's a 50-50 fight, man. I would love to see that. I would actually like to see White beat Fury, to be honest with you. Like, I would like to see that.
That's a tough one. Who would I want to win that fight?
I'm rooting for Dillian White in that fight, man. I'm rooting for Dillian White in that fight. But you know what?
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Well, because one of the top 5 fights that I want to see that I haven't seen is Wilder and Dillian White. The only way I'm going to get that.
That's true.
Only way I'm going to get that is unless White beats Fury.
You know, that's true. There's not much fights I want to see Fury in.
I don't want to see Fury in too many. Yeah, I don't really want to see Fury in any. If he never fought again, I'd perfectly be cool.
Nah, I want to see Fury versus Usyk because I don't think Usyk will ever get credit for being a proper heavyweight if he doesn't beat Fury. Because still people say he's still too small, doesn't have power or anything.
No, I agree with that. Is that high on my want to see list? No, but I get
in the heavyweight division. It has to be. What other fights do you want to see in heavyweight? There's not much fights in heavyweight that I want to see.
Outside of no, it's in my top 5. It's in my top 5 for sure. I mean, it ain't really too much others to pick from. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I
Shane,
believe
there's a lot of good fights at heavyweight. It's a lot of great fights at heavyweight.
I mean, I want to see Hergovic get some work. I want to see Yoka get some work. I want to see Joyce get some work as well.
I think the plug put out. I think Yoka's supposed to be fighting Bacoli.
Yeah, Yoka versus Bacoli. That's already enough.
That's a good fight.
But that was supposed to happen before.
Man, that's a good fight though. I wanted to say this to vlog though. A lot of the things that you're saying about Wilder, a lot of people feel that way. I want to make that clear. I don't want you to think like you speaking some foreign language or something like that. I've heard plenty of people make those statements about Wilder, and the reason why I'm reading Wilder and what his legacy is and whether he's a Hall of Famer or not is so difficult. It's difficult, man, because it's like for me, it just goes back to the opportunities that he missed, and it's because of his management. Like, if you really want to get down to it, we should have got Wilder Klitschko.
Mm-hmm.
We should have got that. We should have got that fight.
They should have put Charles Martin in with Wilder instead of AJ.
Yeah, he was supposed to get that Charles Martin fight, and he was supposed to have been the unified champion, not AJ.
Jeff
That's his
said that at the time as well.
I said that years ago.
That was a big Al Heyman. He dropped the ball.
That was the biggest ball drop of Al Heyman's career.
I actually think it is.
Now, Jeff, we can't always, like I said, you can use outside of the ring issues to hold people out. But then you have fighters like Larry Holmes, who's a Hall of Famer. He wasn't the best managed fighter, didn't get the bag maybe the way he should have gotten based on the skills and in the ring accomplishments. So, you know what I'm saying? That's it's kind of, that's a little iffy situation.
But bro, that's a monumental mistake. That mistake
is the reason why we have what we have right now.
That was a monumental mistake that nobody talks about, because if you believe in your guy, right? If you believe in your guy, Charles Martin was a champion, Wilder was a champion.
In-house.
I don't think in-house. People don't understand what he did. Like, he literally sold not only the belt, but Charles Martin to someone that's not only not in-house, but somebody that's in a whole nother country.
And he's rivaling you.
Now, but hold up, could that not be Deontay's fault? Could that be their belief in Martin and just trying to hold on and build this maybe
no, because AJ didn't bring anything to the table at that point other than money.
No belt,
he had no belt or no nothing. So even if you was building Charles Martin, you're building him off the back of the fact that this guy was a nobody at the time.
Yeah, like AJ wasn't AJ back then. He was all potential back then. He had no belt, no nothing.
But at the same time, that would have been a good, very solid name for a victory for Charles Martin. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, it would have been.
Had lost a lot of respect for AJ because of the fact that he almost lost to White.
But the thing is, that's like me. That's like me wanting to do something channel wise, and I don't go to you, or I don't go to Shane, and I go to somebody from the outside. Like, it just doesn't. Why not unify in-house? Like, it just made no sense. Like, it made no sense at all, because what could have happened if Wilder beats Charles Martin and he's the unified champion at heavyweight, that completely changes his legacy. Completely changes the landscape, all of that. It changes everything. That was a monumental mistake.
I get what you're saying, Jeff, but you're looking at it from hindsight. I'm trying to get.
No, I said it at that time.
He said it at the time.
I said it at that time. Before I met either one of y'all. Before I met either one of y'all.
Okay, now I'm looking at it from hindsight, but I'm looking at it from a perspective of being in them shoes back then. You're trying to sell Martin as the world champion. So if you're sending him to go fight somebody that's amongst the world population in heavyweights, that makes sense because at the time Martin wasn't this big wig fighter that the world recognized as a as a top heavyweight. He just
But
was a dude that had a belt.
no,
Like
but that's the
months.
point. That's the point. It wasn't. They weren't trying to sell Charles Martin. They're trying to sell Wilder. This is all in aid of Wilder. You go sell Charles Martin to Wilder, so Wilder builds up his name. Forget Charles Martin. He's irrelevant because Charles Martin only won that belt because the dude got injured. That's the only reason why
But
Charles
not,
Martin won that belt.
but not not if you're Allen them. Charles Martin is now valuable because he has the belt. So we send him over there, defend it, bring it back to the States. There's some sort of steam under his name. Like you just said.
He was a 6-1 dog. He literally sold that belt to Eddie and AJ. He was a 6-1 dog. If it was more of a 50-50 fight, I'd be with you.
When you say sold the belt, I get you backroom handshakes, hand deals, because Martin
and
is still
after watching that fight,
you know what I mean? So I get you. I understand that because Martin has still been relevant after losing that belt.
The nigga went in there with some spandex on, some real tight shorts on, and got hit with the first 2-piece and fell on the floor and never stood up. That was a nice sell. I'm surprised that.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It reminded me of the way Bruce Seldon reacted when Mike first touched him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Literally.
It did.
But that's my point. You know another mistake that Al Heyman made with Wilder's career? A monumental mistake that me and you love bringing up, bro. Why the hell did he fight Fury?
Period. Period. Those are the two biggest. Those are the two biggest mistakes that you could. Those are two of the most monumental mistakes, and that's not even hindsight. Like those are two of the most monumental. Even when the fight first got announced, I was like, "Why Fury though? Like why? Like I didn't understand. My thing is this. Even let's rewind back to when Charles Martin won the belt. If you truly believe in Wilder, like if you think he's gonna be that guy, right? He mops Charles Martin. He mops him. So you have someone in your own camp that's a unified champion at heavyweight. There's nothing that Eddie Hearn, AJ, or anybody else can offer that's bigger than that. That trumps that from a business perspective, boxing perspective.
It's like Al Heyman sending Ugas to fight Crawford instead of fighting Spence.
Of fighting Spence. That's similar. Yeah. It's similar. Like it just didn't make any business sense.
In fact, it's not even like that. It's like him sending Ugas to fight Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, like and the thing is, and I'm like, and it can't be about the money because I'm like, Al Heyman was swimming in money. He was swimming in money. This was about building somebody to be a superstar. And Wilder, to his credit, he still ended up being a superstar despite the mistakes. Despite the mistakes of Al Heyman. Now that I'm talking about it, to be honest with you, bro, I would put him in the Hall of Fame just for him overcoming dumb shit on top of what he's done inside of the ring. I might have to rethink that. Because he was supposed to have been a unified champion. His own peoples didn't give him the opportunity. The only reason he was in the trilogy is because they put him in a matchup against somebody.
Jeff, I don't think they believed in him. They did. You know why, bro? You remember when they sent him over to Russia to fight Povetkin? And it's just out of the grace of God that Povetkin for the drugs test. Al Heyman was willing to send Wilder over to Russia to fight Povetkin. They did not believe in that dude, bro.
But Shane, this is the thing. How are you willing to send somebody over to Russia to fight Povetkin, but you're not going to get them to fight your own guy in house?
That's my point. They were just trying to send him to the highest bidder,
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You know what? I'm gonna change my mind right now. I'm putting Wilder in the Hall of Fame right now because there's 9 out of 10 dudes that has dealt with management negligence, which is about 80% of the sport. For him to accomplish what he's accomplished, despite the negligence, I'm putting him in. Straight negligence. I'll put him in. Straight negligence. They did him wrong. They did him wrong.
You think about it. There's probably 4 or 5 questionable things. You can say the fact that they sent him to Russia to fight Povetkin, the fact that they didn't give him the Charles Martin fight, the fact that they took the Fury fight. Now I agree with the fact that they turned down the zone deal, but even that some people will question and say they should have taken that the zone money. Now I'm not agreeing, but some people will question that as well. Like there are some decisions that they've made that I just feel like is real questionable.
High level of negligence. And vlog, we can even take it to a street perspective. You know, you in them streets and you making decisions. You know, the main thing is like, does this make sense? Does it make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like whether you looking at it from hindsight,
do you get home?
That's what do you get home? Exactly. Do you get home? Right. That's what it comes down to. And I'm like, there's about a good 3-4 mistakes that they made that even let's even rewind, right? Let's even go to the Fury first fight, right? Whether you thought Wilder won or Fury won, we all were in agreement. There's not one ref on this planet that would have even started to count the way Fury was looking in the first 5 seconds. I said this, Shane said this. We like, yo, even Andre Ward said this. Just off of that alone, he could have just kept it moving. He could have just kept it moving. He could have literally been like, you know what? You would knock the fuck out. The ref wasn't even supposed to count. And he could have went and took that AJ fight and
now this is because he's a fighter of the peoples that could have got him in trouble too, because the peoples got the churmering in these boxing streets, and I'm sure a lot of that got in his ear.
No, but you also have to remember, Blunt, the WBC ordered an immediate rematch and Fury turned it down.
So he had an open lane to do what he wanted.
He had an open lane.
He had an open lane to do what he wanted.
That's what I mean. The people being in his ear like, yo, you didn't really win. You got outboxed throughout the fight. Whoop-de-whoop. That still is a hurdle for somebody of Deontay Wilder's ilk. He's used to accomplishing getting over hurdles.
I agree. I agree with that, Vlog.
I agree, but if he goes Saudi Arabia and knocks out AJ for 150 million, I don't care what the people say, bro. I'm undisputed champion, 150 million.
And on top of that, bro, there was more people saying that Wilder should have won by knockout than people saying Fury should have won by decision.
That was
I'm talking in the States. I'm talking in the States.
I mean, I read a lot back then. That's when I was first getting heavy in the sport as far as the social media shit. And a lot of my readings was he did get outboxed. And when you said it over the years, I kind of see what you're saying. Oh, man, you lost 18 rounds to blah, blah, blah.
He did.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can get that edge, but I'm just saying.
Also say this though. I also say this, Vlog. You know, I say this all the time. It don't matter how many rounds you win if you get stretched. He was stretched. Like he was stretched. Like he was stretched.
Got stretched too, though. Fury got stretched too. Fury got stretched too.
That's who he's talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah.
I'm talking about that 12th round. That 12th round. So
but we can apply the same argument of why would Wilder take the third fight if he got stretched in the second fight?
But the truth is the third fight was almost, I say, remove hindsight, was almost irrelevant. The only reason why it's relevant because it turned out to be so entertaining and amazing. But before the fight happened, it was irrelevant in the sense that after 2 fights, Fury had won most rounds comprehensively. And the only way Wilder was going to win was if he landed that money shot. But after watching that second fight, it was less likely that people were believing it. Yeah, you had a few Wilder fans who were, but there wasn't a lot. The reason why going back to Jeff's original point where I feel like he should have just moved away from that fight was there was better options on the table for Wilder, which was AJ. That's a $150 million fight right there. I don't really care. I don't really care what people want to say about me if they feel like I lost a few or whatever. Bro, I'm making millions. I'm making millions. And if I knock AJ out, all of a sudden it trumps everything. And even after that, I can go see Fury, if anything.
It was a bigger money fight. It was a bigger legacy fight. Everything
it was bigger everything.
Bigger everything. But like you said, he fight for the people. And L Dub said that in the chat. But sometimes when you fight for other people outside of yourself, it come with a price. Sometimes that
Exactly.
price tag is steep. That's like you looking out for your peoples in the streets and all that. You got to know when to cut that off and when to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to do what's best
Take
for
care of
you.
number one, bro.
You got to take care of number one. But I think his management really, he accomplished a lot despite
I mean, is it
his
Owl or is it
management.
Shelly?
Huh?
Is it Owl or is it Shelly?
Well, Shelly leads the Owl, so I got to put it at the feet of Owl. I got to put it at the feet of Owl.
But
I put it to you like this. I put it to you like this, bro. He didn't make that mistake with Floyd.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's Owl.
He don't
I
make
feel
that
like
mistake
it's
with
Shelly,
Floyd.
bro. Because
Huh?
Owl don't make that mistake with anyone other than Wilder. So I have to feel like it's Shelly. It has to be Shelly, bro.
But it has even if it's Shelly, if Al believes in Wilder the way he believed in Floyd, he won't even let Shelly follow through with that stuff.
Yeah, facts.
We were looking at Wilder. I'm like, yo, this dude. I'm like, and I always say this. I'm like, yo, you got great fighters and you got fighters that fight great. I say, yo, he fight great. I was sold not only this Stavern fight, I was sold because he went a whole 12 rounds and he outboxed him, literally outboxed that man. But I was sold after the first Ortiz fight. It didn't matter what happened. The reason I was sold on the Ortiz fight is because he went through a technical process to get himself over the top. And you rarely see that with power punches. He fights great. He fights great.
Regardless, with Wilder, you're sold immediately because the moment you see this dude land on someone, you know the power is different. I remember growing up, and Jeff, you might remember, Blunt, you might remember, because I was in the UK, I saw it a bit more. Price. When Price was coming through the ranks, he was knocking dudes out. But I wasn't as convinced with a Price as I was with Wilder, purely and simply from the fact that I've always seen power punches, but the way Wilder was knocking dudes out was different. He had dudes shivering on the floor. I'm like, that's different. That is different. That Filker fight.
He picked Jackson type. We talking Julian Jackson type. Amy Evans, what's going on? I don't know what that is. But big shout out to you. He said love is in the air.
This nigga is on drugs.
Yeah, Burt Wood, 12th round Fury right leg was bent with his right foot pointing up. Fury was not knocked out. Plus, Wilder did not go to his corner.
So many people talk about that right leg being bent. I think to myself, what the hell does that mean? That doesn't mean nothing.
Yo,
since when does a bent leg mean anything,
yo,
bro?
when you're temporarily unconscious, however your leg land, that's just how it is. Like
wasn't George Grove's leg bent when he got knocked out by Carl Froch? Yeah, that nigga's leg was bent as well. Bent as well.
But Burt Wood, listen, like we hear your comment. This is our thing. We're talking about from a referee perspective. Any referee sees a situation like that where a guy is literally not moving for the first 4 or 5 seconds of count. They're not even counting, bro. That's the point. They're not even counting. It's not the fact that he got up and all of that. We're saying there's no ref on this planet that would have gave him an opportunity to get up.
They didn't give Ortiz an opportunity to get up.
They didn't give him an opportunity to get up. Exactly.
They just waved that fight off.
They just waved it off. Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's not he said Reese said that. Who's Reese?
No, the ref.
Oh, the ref said. Oh, Jack Reese said that.
You know why I say that's a load of trash? Because if you just see a knockout like that, who the hell was looking at where niggas' knees? That is rubbish.
Hey, Burt Wood, can I tell you why that happened, bro? Remember the Peralta fight when he got stopped?
Told me about that, yeah.
So Peralta fought the dude Ramos on a PBC card. I was actually on the phone with Vlog at the time. And we watched that fight, and Peralta got stopped with, I think, less than 10 seconds left in the fight. And he waved it off. And he got up and everything, and he waved it off. And he caught a lot of backlash for that. And I think Vlog and I think we were kind of on the fence on how we felt about that at that particular time. But the Wilder fight happened like 2 weeks later.
But
it happened right after that.
That
influenced what he did in that.
There's no way I would not believe that.
Can we be honest, Jeff? told you, man, there was a bar at the old neighborhood I was in. I bought the dude a stool, man. I'm just come on, sit down with the rest of us, just boxing fans, because this dude, that was terrible in that Peralta fight, bro. I mean,
Bro,
if you had money on that fight going the distance, just in general, if you had, I mean, it was a boxer's better's worst nightmare, fights like that. And the same thing with the Fury fight, bro. I'm just saying, you got refs like Jack Reese and these other entities that affect the outcomes of fights, and it's a terrible thing for the sport.
bro,
And I just remember that vividly.
bro,
And I see where y'all lean into his reaction to Fury, and that makes sense that we bring that up.
Blunt, it had to. It had to. It's like, bro, imagine if you had a chick, for example, yeah, and you just had a pregnancy scare. You ain't forgetting to pull out the next time you're making that mistake.
You double strapping.
Yeah, bro. So it's one of those ones where he's making sure he don't make that mistake again. He waves that fight off and Fury gets up.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna reference that same situation 2 weeks before.
Yeah,
to be fair, he's in a lose-lose. You know what? He's actually in a lose-lose. He's actually in a lose-lose.
Yeah, but that's a worse loss. That's a worse loss, though. The losses ain't the same.
It sounds like Shane dismount game is a perfect 10.
Bro,
I think Shane's circling around.
It's inconsistent, bro. It's inconsistent.
But that's the thing, though. That's why I be like, you gotta spark these conversations, because it forces you to think. You know what I'm saying? Like, it forces you to think, and not one person is like dominating the conversation. Like, you're really forcing another person to think. I came into it, I'm like, nah, I'm like, Wilder ain't no Hall of Famer. Now, talking about it, I'm just like, you know what? When I look at everything in its totality, I'm like, now, I am standing on the fact that I don't feel comfortable putting Wilder up against anybody. I'm still standing on that. But in terms of this era, is he top 5 in terms of just in this era period, even though it's not a really good era?
Is he top 5 in this era?
I would say yeah. But there's more factors.
Do you consider Vladimir Vitali in this era?
Yes, I do. I
do. It's tight then. It's tight. Who do you have him over? Who do you miss out?
I think Wilder would be. I think he would be 5 for me.
So who would be the 4?
The 4, it would be both of the Klitschko's. I would say probably AJ Fury Wilder.
So you wouldn't have Usyk in it?
We talking like all time? It's hard for me. So you're talking. So we're talking era talk. So that's like it's a little different. So if you think about it, Usyk has had a total of 3 fights.
Yeah, I get your point.
At heavyweight. So it's hard for me to say era-wise.
As a heavyweight.
As a heavyweight.
Yeah. He's only had, I get you.
He's only had 3, even though that one victory was huge.
He's got more to do. He's got more to do at heavyweight.
Hold up, man. Hold up. Pump your brakes. Both y'all dudes is talking Hall of Fame for this cat. Now y'all talking about he ain't in this era.
I can explain that, Vlog. I can explain it. He asked me a specific question. He said, heavyweights in the era. Where do I rank Wilder in terms of heavyweights in the era? That's heavyweights in the era. When I say Usyk is Hall of Fame, the AJ fight kind of just capped it. I felt like he was a Hall of Famer for what he did prior to that as well. So like me thinking he was a Hall of Fame type guy is not because he beat AJ. It's not just because he beat AJ.
Okay, so y'all got him in for cruiserweight, basically. That sound like
I'd wholly throw them.
Y'all got y'all 10-speed gears. Y'all downshifting on the 10-speed gears.
I'm not, bro. I'm not downshifting. I'm very consistent. I'm very consistent with it. He's not top 5 in the era because he only has 3 fights. That's it. I'm very consistent. I'm very consistent.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So you either got him in for what he's accomplished at heavyweight and cruiserweight, Hall of Fame. Boom. If we stop right here, that's the way y'all talking the other day. Now that we're talking era-wise, you're saying this era, no, but he's in this era, and he was in this era when he accomplished the cruiserweight shit. So
but
he was only in this
heavyweight.
era. He was in this era. He was in the heavyweight era for a year. It would be disrespectful for me to take Wilder out of the top 5, all that he's done for a guy that's had 3 fights in a 12-month span.
But y'all just said y'all was just talking about he pound for pound,
bro. But that's a different. Those are different questions.
That's a different division.
Vlog, you can have different answers for different questions. You can have different answers for different questions.
I guess when you pound for pound and the greatest fighter on the planet, then I guess you
bro,
cannot be
it's the same thing when we apply the fact of when we look at fighters like when we look at a fighter when he moves up to a weight class, we don't immediately forget what he's done at previous weight classes. We don't. If Josh Taylor moves up to welterweight, are we gonna say, yep, he's a pound for pound welterweight? No, because he just moved up. But you're gonna obviously acknowledge what he's done at 140. You can't just ignore it because it existed. It existed, bro.
All I can say is I hope the people in the chat catching y'all guys the way I'm catching y'all. Because, I mean, I see a little backstroking. I see like y'all grabbing y'all nose. The water getting a little deep. I got to get my nose and make sure I got my breath. I'm just saying.
Nah, bro. You're just tripping, bro.
Contradictory little points going on in the last couple lives. Man, I get it. I've been kind of that on that road myself. But I call it a learning process. Y'all don't look at it like that. Y'all just look at it like, no, what I said, what I meant. I was
You know what, though?
Even if I'm stepping on my own feet.
I don't even know why we even having this argument.
So many times. If there's anything I respect about Blunt is the fact that he's an old dog who's willing to learn new tricks. Have I not said that to you before, Jeff?
Absolutely.
I respect that about you so much. That's probably the thing I respect about you the most. The fact that you're willing to acknowledge things that are maybe alien or ancient to you and still willing to learn it. That is something that I find ridiculously hard to do.
Hey, Shane, now usually I'll set traps for Vlog and he might walk into them, he might not. This one, I'm going to take the back of his collar and throw him in his ditch. Watch this. How we going to sit up here and have this discussion about Usyk and Wilder when you the same person that said Jerry Forrest beats Usyk? How you going back and forth with me?
Jerry,
how you going back and forth with me, bro?
Well, I'm gonna let these people know I meant that. Jerry Forrest has a true fighter's chance against Usyk because he's a solid heavyweight, meaning weight wise,
bro. But this the same person. But you're criticizing me because I'm like he didn't crack my top 5 in terms of heavyweights in the era. According to you, how am I going to put a guy that's going to lose to Jerry Forrest in the top 5? Did you not just walk into the ditch, bro? Come on, bro.
You can't put me in your analysis. That's just the way I think about Jerry Forrest. You can't use the way
I love Lord, yo.
Usyk as a way to undercut your analysis of
I
Usyk.
I actually agree with Blunt, though. That's actually true, though. That's actually true, though, Jeff. That's actually true, though, Jeff. Because you can't. That's his opinion on Jerry Forrest. That's not your opinion on Jerry Forrest.
Yeah, but the thing is, but if you can't beat Jerry Forrest, then you shouldn't be in no top 5 or nothing.
Nah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. That's
by anybody's standards.
That's by anybody's standards.
Man, Jerry, you invited on here to help me defend you, my dude. You're invited on the Goodfellas podcast. Help me defend you.
Come on. Hey, listen, man, you come on, and I would flat tell him he would lose to Usyk, but he'd just be like, "Yo, I want the opportunity," and of course, we gotta respect that. We respect that 100%, man. But the one thing Vlog has talked me into is the Wilder and the Hall of Fame thing. He did talk me into that. He didn't even talk you into that, bro. He was just going round and round in circles until you found your way into that, bro. That might have been the case too. But I mean,
hey, Shane, I kept him outside with the jab, though. I kept him outside.
Yeah. He pulled a pull counter on me, but you know what I'm saying. But you know what though? That's a good joint for social media, yo.
What would have
Wilder,
changed if Fury did not get up? Beat Wilder second and third fight. Yeah, everybody knows that. That was obvious. White is much better than Wilder. Fair enough. That's your opinion.
Ryan Peterson, what's going on, brother?
I think
I
even
mean, hey,
Chisora can
boxing
beat
guys,
Wilder.
hold on, can I get to chime in on that one? Just a little quick one. I gotta agree with you on that. White is a better boxer than Wilder, but he's definitely not a better puncher, and I don't think he takes a shot the way Wilder takes a shot.
I don't think so neither.
Yeah, Wilder got one of the. I would say Wilder has one of the best chins.
Nah. I wouldn't. That's
No,
going too far. That's going too
no,
far.
no. Hold on. Listen to
No.
me, Shane. Listen to me.
You gotta wear him down. He's not a one hitter.
For somebody that's 210, 210 was usually floating around at 210. Now with heavyweights, right? Everybody's gonna get rocked with a shot, but also a heavyweight, one shot will turn your electricity off. Wilder has fought how many fights?
But how many punches?
Exactly.
He ain't fought no punches.
Ortiz a puncher, Ortiz a banger.
Ah, bro. Ortiz is
Laverne
collecting
was
his
a
wealth.
banger.
So his
Laverne was
chin,
a banger.
Shane, his chin not good.
I never said it's not good. You said one of the best.
Yeah.
That is
Who throw some names out there then?
Out of the heavyweights
Yeah, because
currently,
I'll
you
argue
mean
with you. I'll
currently?
argue with you on this
You
one.
mean
I'll argue with you on
currently?
this
You
one.
mean currently
Currently.
let's keep
or in
him
history?
active.
No,
Let's
currently.
keep him active right now.
Currently
He's
active
No,
right now.
yeah, but that was a different question. You said one of the best. I didn't know you meant currently. I
No,
thought
I
you
meant
meant of all
currently. I
time.
meant currently. Currently. No,
No,
he hasn't had enough bodies. He hasn't had enough bodies for me to say he has one of
No,
the best
that's what
chins
I
of all
thought you
time.
were trying to
Oh, no,
say.
no, 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 no. No, no, no. I'm talking about right now. He
Let
has
me
one of the
think.
best chins in the heavyweight division.
He has a. I mean, Marius Rock has a real good chin. But
But the
outside
thing,
of
hey, bro, but here's the
Joe
thing though.
Joyce
At
got a
heavyweight,
solid chin.
Joe Joyce got a solid
Yeah,
chin.
Joe Joyce but he hasn't been in the ring with no punches neither though.
Neither.
Outside of Dubois, but he was hurt by Dubois though, couple
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
couple times.
I
yeah,
mean,
but we got to give when they get hit and they get a little bit buzz, but
When they
they
come
not
back,
hitting this.
I will
They
say
not
Wilder's
correct.
got the most
losing their
dog in him.
momentum in the fight. I think that's more of a thumbs up when we giving them credit for a chin too.
I think Wilder's got the most dog in him. I'll definitely say that nigga got dog.
That's part of that chin game too. That's
Yeah.
part of that.
Of course, but he's got like this is one of the things. I was talking to someone the other day when they were like, "Oh, how come Usyk struggled against Chisora but didn't struggle against AJ?" I was like, because Chisora has way more dog than AJ does. Even though AJ has so much more skills than Chisora, Chisora just got way more dog.
Yo, I got a question, yo. Does Amir Khan have dog?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
What you think, Love?
mean, yeah,
Because I think he do.
Hold
I
on.
think he do.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this. He one of them motherfuckers gonna keep hitting the fence until you hit him in the mouth. So if you can say that's dog, or you can, you know what I mean, it's kind of it's iffy because we think dog mean you can take something and you coming right back. You in it for the 12.
Yeah.
You don't usually think somebody as chinny as he is as a dog, but I mean, I get it from the perspective that
But
he's in there to get knocked out. So
but
that's
blunt.
level of dog too.
But
So I
blunt.
mean,
If he could get up for most of these fights, he would. But he gets lights out. It's not
that's
even
what I
the fact
said.
that he has a choice. That
That's
choice is being removed from him, bro.
what I said. It depends on what kind of dog you talking about. Is he the type of dog you want to just open the fence and you know he gonna be good, or he's the type of dog you want to keep him on the chain? You know, pull him back at the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of dog you saying. So
Yo, I think he definitely has dog in him.
It does. Is wild. Is AJ, and it's a good question. Is AJ, or does AJ have the least heart of any heavyweight champion in the last 20 years, outside of Charles Martin?
no. I think we have to see the results of this fight to find that out. because it took heart to bounce back and be smart against Ruiz, be conditioned right, go to 12, look solid. I think that took a lot of heart too. So coming in and being a killer in this one will show a different level of heart. So
That's true. I don't see
think
it happening.
fight will tell us a lot.
That's true. I don't see it happening though. You got more confidence than me, my bro.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he is that guy. I lean towards the other side because it's taking this fight to really make sure I'm correct on my lean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You coming out the same rematch, AJ? He might just be looking for another fighter to go rematch. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I told you I think he's gonna be the rematch dude of this division or in this current era of heavyweights because that's something that's supposed to be in all their current upcoming contracts.
Yeah, I actually agree with Vlog on this one. I can't really make that determination. Depends on. I don't want to say that that's true, and then he comes out against Usyk and fights hard as hell. Then I'm gonna feel bad that I said it. So yeah, I actually agree with Vlog on this one. I would reserve my opinion until the Usyk rematch. Now I will say this though. How would y'all feel if he takes the step aside money and you ask that same question?
I would love it.
We lean to what we've already expected of him, that he's been affected by the silk. He's been the satin sheets, the velour robe.
I would respect him so much if he did that.
I mean, he'd be leaning to what we think
about. Yeah, because I want undisputed, bro.
Your views are skewed.
Hey,
vlog. Listen, Fury can lose to the pizza man around the corner from Shane's house and put him up against Usyk. He like, yeah, that's the fight I want to see the most because it's undisputed.
I want to see undisputed right now, bro.
I don't care who it is.
Bro, I just realized something, you know.
Hey,
undisputed could actually be white
in the wait another year.
Bro, you know what? Undisputed could actually be White and Usyk. You know that? That is crazy, bro.
I know.
Undisputed could actually be White and Usyk.
And the thing is, I think White would have one of the best shots at beating Usyk because of his style.
That's a you gotta make
it nasty. You gotta make it nasty.
I said that. That's the only way to beat this pound for pound guy. And pure boxing. You know what I mean? I got him on my pure boxing list, man. So you gotta take him out his element.
Hey, Vlog, can you put that on your can you put that on your social media, bro? If Wilder retires, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. I mean, I tapped in on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I asked.
I'm talking about you put it up.
Yeah, I'll put it up.
Yeah, because I'm kind of curious to see what people think about that.
Yeah, I've been working all day, bro. Yeah, I've been doing videos.
I know. I've been checking
IG, Instagram. I'm hella busy.
Bro, you've been busy, bro.
Yeah,
I've been slacking. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm tired.
No, and I got the new article. It's cracking up here, but Pad coming to action, pin the Pad in action, man. It's gonna be regarding these awards, and I got one to add to the bunch, and I just want to get. Now that we on the live, I'm gonna put it out there, but it's gonna be interjected into my article. Should we have Karma Fight of the Year awards? Because we know about boxing and the promotional side of it and the
what
rawness.
Karma fights do you have? I can name two. I can't name any more. I can name two.
I can name two.
What's your two?
Apoche Glanton and
I forgot about that.
That's a good one.
And the boy that just got bopped in the first round just a couple weeks ago, man. He was on the top ranked card, man. They had the little dust up. You know, they was out there gangbanging.
Zapata.
Yeah.
Whole swing.
I'm glad I put no money on that.
Nah, bro. I got
yeah, but I ain't put no money on it though.
I got 3 fights to add to that, bro. You got Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yard.
Man, I still gotta send you $50, man. I done paid Vlog already.
That's a Karma fight. That's the Karma fight. And then you also got the Wilder Fury. That's a karma fight. Wilder Fury 3. And then Kambosos and Tiafimo, because that's karma on Bob Arum's end. Because Bob Arum, Bob Arum sent that nigga out to dry in the sun. So actually, that's a good idea. Karma of the year. That's actually a good concept. Good concept.
It's me, baby.
You know what? I'm gonna get a silhouette of this nigga just going like this and put "It's me, baby" in a speech bubble.
I'm just saying. I try to come up with different angles in boxing to
No,
talk
that's
about,
true
baby.
though. That's actually
You
true.
know,
That's
does
real.
anybody remember the Pochi Glanton? Pochi was on some negative nonsense that really had nothing to do with boxing, and then when it got inside the ring, you know, and then the same thing with the young boy Josue, you know what I'm saying? You let that out.
And Blunt, you could also add, even though this wasn't really karma, Chocolatito and Estrada. That was this year as well.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I think the one that sticks out for me is Zepeda and Josue though.
Oh, that was funny.
That sticks out to me only because his. Did y'all see the video of his brother crying?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you
man.
But Blunt, Jeff, doesn't the what's it called fight step up for you as well? Yard and Offer. I mean, maybe because I'm in England.
It does, but it's kind of like neither one of them was hella disrespectful. Josue was hella disrespectful.
But their coaches were. You know what? If Yard lost and Tunde was there, if Tunde was Arthur's coach, it would have been calmer.
Oh, that's why they did that little hug after the fight thing.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
I get it now, Shane. I got you. So yeah, you would have to include that. You would have to include that. Then yeah, that's good. That's good, man. I'm gonna do some posts, man. Y'all got me hella active on the post.
I like that. So, I like that concept. Though.
I like that concept.
I really like that concept.
I really like that concept, man. That's a real good concept, man.
Bro, real good concept. I'm gonna read that as well. I'm gonna read that. Not even just.
Though. Get the silhouette of this nigga though. Get the shirts printed for sure, man. I think
that's a real nice.
That's concept. A real I just think. I'm like, how you lose at the press conference? I mean, at the weigh-in, and you get knocked out at the fight. Like crazy. His brother was crying like he died.
Yeah, his brother
was crying like he died. Yo,
no, the fact that it was in the first round as well, bro. That was even funny.
Yeah,
and I told you, bro. I told you Zepeda was gonna knock this dude out. I told you. I don't know what Jeff was thinking. I told this nigga, you know.
Jeff was taking that wear and tear from the Baranchik
fight.
Yeah, and it just ain't no wear and tear. It's under 3 minutes.
The worst out of that. He got the victory, but he seen that took the worst out of that.
Bro. Baranchik versus Montana Love. Montana Love put Baranchik in a coffin.
That's what I said, man. That grind that he went through, all of knockdowns. It seemed like an overtime fight. That seemed like a fight that went into overtime. You know what I'm saying? So that took a lot out of him.
Well, big shout out to Greg Hackett, man. When he said, man, Montana Love been punching on shit for the past year. He said he must have got that Reynoso pack. I was dying, yo. He said he got that Reynoso pack. But the thing is, Montana Love, he's not known as a power guy. And I know as time goes on, like you can generate more power by technique. You know what I'm saying? Get your weight in shots and all of that. But yeah, his situation a little
different.
His situation a little different. I ain't saying nothing because that's I really like Montana, but he really been punching on shit.
Yeah,
I mean, he doing it off the back foot too. So
wherever he's doing, he needs to go hook up Devin Haney.
Yeah, Haney
dude, I explained that so many times to you.
Bro, you're the same dude that said this dude punched like a 7th grader. You said that. I didn't say that. You said that.
Bro, but I mean, I explained it.
You punched like a 7th grader. You punched like a 7th grader.
But I'm probably not knocking out. I'm 185. So if I jumped in the street right now, it'd probably take me a combination of a real sick one to knock out somebody 175, 80 pounds right now. And I'm still nice with the hands, but you lose a little bit spin, volume.
In both hands. In both hands.
When your offhand don't really count as much as your lead hand anyway. So, you know what I mean? It's a little give and take with that one. So But anyway, hey, bro, man, I can't even be on here too much longer, bro.
No,
think
we
I'm
getting
trying
ready to
to
get
get
up
to
off
sleep.
here. Yeah, man. Let's wrap this thing up, man. Vlog, give me your social media so we can get up out of here.
Man, I'm on Twitter, the way you see it on your screen, Boxing First Vlog. I'm on IG, Boxing #1 STVLOG. Tap in with me, man. I've been putting up some work. I'm consistent again. Just tap in on the channel, man. There's some good ones up today. You know what I mean? We had your boy Canelo in these streets retweeting hot garbage ass tweets. So you know what I mean? Tap into them videos and tell me what you think in that comment section.
Absolutely. Shane, give me your social media, bro.
I_I'm Shane the #1 on Instagram.
Man, I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, your local strip club, all that, man. G5 Jeff TV. You understand what I'm talking about? Listen.
Just in the club giving out singles.
Yeah, I'm giving out singles like the UK fighters, man. We giving out street singles, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if
But
you
listen,
giving out singles, I got hot 50 cent pieces for them.
and on that, we're gonna close. Yo, this nigga's stupid, yo. On behalf of
Throwing
Boxing
all these
First,
coins, it's gonna be
yo,
like
he throwing 50 cent pieces at these chicks. Wonder why they coming out bruised and shit.
that's domestic violence, bro.
Yo,
He's got the coin sticking to the strip pole and stuff like that, bro.
yo. Yeah, they walking off stage with quarters attached to them and shit. Yo, man, I'm trying to get off this joint, man, and y'all coming up this nonsense, man. Listen, on behalf of Boxing First Vlog, VP Shane, and G5 Jeff TV, this is episode 33 of the Goodfellas podcast. We'll see y'all tomorrow for episode 34. This nigga dumb.